Hello, my name is Colin Campbell. I'm with Polygon. You're looking at Blackwood Crossing. It's a narrative adventure that's coming out from Paper 7 sometime next year on Xbox One, Windows PC and PlayStation 4. We looked at it a couple of months ago, the first chapter of it, and we were blown away by just how gorgeous it is, just how cleverly the developers had captured the relationships between children, the relationships between these children who've lost their parents, and the damage that they feel, the relationship between one another, and especially with the boy, the facial expressions that he gives. Now in this section we don't see quite so much of that. It isn't, I don't think, as emotive as the first chapter, which sets it up. We were told at the time that the story would get darker, and you get to see some of that here, as well as a little bit of a clearer idea of some of the puzzles. Here's a really super simple puzzle, which is, there's a door locked, I better go find a key. And so Scarlett, the older sister, goes in search of a key on this train. Now the train is the setting for the game, but there's a lot of magical realism going on in that you soon sort of fall into this Alice in Wonderland type world where anything can happen and all sorts of strange things happen. And what you see is a representative of the boy's emotions, the boy's sense of loss as his older sister grows up and grows apart from him, and their shared sense of loss at the loss of their parents who died when this boy was much smaller. The girl, Scarlett, she can remember the parents, the boy cannot remember them, but they each have this different sense of loss. And what I love about this game is the fact that not only is it gorgeous, not only is it really beautifully written, but also, from what we've seen so far, it gives you a sense of the emotions that are going on. And so in this section, I have lots of children. Children are really quite unpleasant when they're kicking off. And so we see here that Finn is not having a good day. So in this section, if this is the only part of the game you see and you think it's about a really unpleasant boy, I really want to warn you off that and say that, in this section he's having a tantrum, but generally speaking he's very sweet. So we see here one of the early types of puzzles in which these characters who are representative of the family members that these children have known or have lost, who aren't really on the train, and you match together some of it's a pairing match. So you listen to the conversations and you figure out which ones go with which. I love these little posters, by the way, that they've pulled together. So here is this matronly lady.
If it wasn't unchristian, I'd say it's been a long time coming.
Yes, I wanted you to hear that, because I don't think there are actually women in England like that anymore. Perhaps there are, but I certainly remember them from my childhood. I haven't been in England for a long time, and I haven't heard anybody speak like that for a while. You have this gorgeous rabbit character. I love these paper mache masks that the characters use. It gives them so much personality, and it's such a clever way of sort of dealing with the fact that faces are really expensive and difficult to animate, and they've put all their effort into animating the faces of Finn and Scarlett. So here we see the two characters are matched, and they sort of fizzle away, and we see, I didn't do for this edit, I didn't do all of the characters, but you go around and you match them all up, and they come together in this next section, and you start to get more of the story, more of the background of what's going on between these two characters.
Help me, Grandma.
Oh, thank God. Anna, you're safe.
She's not safe. She's not.
Nobody's safe.
What's going on? What are you doing here?
This is why you don't have any friends.
He's not my friend. I hate him. And I hate you.
You don't mean that.
We'll get him for this. You'll do nothing of the sort. Now, let me see.
Mum, where's Scarlett and Finn? You're supposed to be watching them.
We watched them, Sweet Pea. We brought them up. Oh, but Finn...
You get a sense of the intensity of the interpersonal relationships, and so we're back here now. So there's that little detail of Scarlett's fingernails, which that sort of teenage girl thing of scuffed fingernails, black fingernail paint. There's a proper word for that, isn't there? I've forgotten what it is. And so here we have what is obviously going to be another puzzle.
Let me help.
You don't care anymore! I did it because you don't care!
Wait.
Quite a lot of the games that I preview for Polygon these days do tend to be these gentle, I can't really think of a better word for it, narrative adventures. But gentle is a strange word because they really do pull on your emotions. And whether you're talking about something like Firewatch, where there's just a lot of walking around and fairly straightforward puzzles going on.
There you are. What are you doing with all our stuff? Finn! Oh my god. We're on fire. Finn!
When they said it was going to get darker, they weren't kidding.
Oh god. Oh god.
So here's me just sort of panicking, thinking for a second that I'll just grab that can of Coke and use it to extinguish the fire. I don't know whether that's me in real life or me just being super video gamey. I'm not sure. So anyway, we better get back to that fire extinguisher, but obviously there's a lock on it, and we'll this is me panicking again, and we'll take it from there.
But it's only paper. I don't understand. It's made of paper, but it's strong like steel. He must have used magic. Maybe it can still burn.
I imagine that if anybody actually set a fire like that on a train, everybody would be dead within a few minutes. And I've edited this section so that two things happen. One, that you don't watch me flailing around for 20 minutes trying to figure out the puzzle, and secondly, that I don't actually show you how the puzzle is solved, because I don't want to spoil some of the moments which will allow you to inhabit this game more fully when you play it. And the trouble with previewing these sort of story games is the sense that you give too much of it away. And I think this will probably be the last time we really dig into this game. It's only the second chapter, and there's a little bit of the third chapter at the end. Well, I'm trying not to give away any of the more interesting puzzles. But of course, if you've got a lick of sense, which I haven't, you'll figure this puzzle out in the couple of seconds that we have here, rather than me just taking forever to figure it out. It was editing this video was just an exercise in complete embarrassment, because of course when you see it, you see it, but before you see it, you don't. And yeah, I'm not very good at that sort of thing. So the puzzle gets solved, and onwards we go. And I was saying earlier on that we talk about the gentleness of these games because they don't involve running around and cutting people's throats. I just finished Dishonored 2, so this is quite a departure from that sort of gameplay. But we call them gentle because they don't involve killing people. But actually they're really not that gentle. On the emotions. When you're dealing with, there's something much more emotionally draining, that's not the word, or fulfilling perhaps is the right word, about seeing a brother and a sister who love each other, who bond, who miss their parents, than running around for 20 hours cutting people's throats. And I enjoy doing both those things, but they're very different emotional experiences. And I think that this kind of a game is actually more ravaging And I know a lot of people who wouldn't think twice about kind of murderizing hundreds of people in a zombie game, but are just way too frightened to sit down with a game like That Dragon Cancer, which for me was one of the most important, most significant games of the past 12 months, for all its simplicity and its linearity and its faults. That we're seeing games now which really do tug at your heartstrings and which are convincing portrayals of what it means to be a human being, and more than that, they're convincing portrayals of humanity.
What are you doing?
Let's just watch this bit.
Oh, it doesn't burn. I can control it.
Yeah, so they're convincing in a way that only video games can do. They're inhabiting these characters and just sort of mooching around with them for a while. You're spending more time with them, and so rather than just watching a movie, it's a different kind of feeling. I'm not saying it's better, but certainly we've got to the point with these sorts of games where they really can say something that's much more interesting. I was talking to an English professor who spends a lot of time talking about video games. He's in Canada somewhere, and he's big on games and on using them to teach empathy and this idea of coming together. And I think it's a hugely important step forward.
I'll sort this all out. You'll see.
Yeah, I don't think it's safe to barbecue on trains. That would be my tip. So for this last part of the chapter, I don't know if you saw the first chapter. It also ended up in this lovely tree house, which is super English in a way that the way that actually no, that's nonsense. It's kind of universal, isn't it? Of childhood, this safe, intimate place where children can be themselves together, brothers and sisters or just friends. And you see these sort of artifacts of childhood, but also there's a lot of darkness here as well.
This has gone far enough.
I can't stop it!
Oh my god. Let me find a way to help. It's okay.
Are you gonna lie about all day?
Is it an option?
Nope.
What happened to the train?
You're weird. Come on, I'll race you.
So this section just begins the third chapter. It kind of brings to an end the preview code that I was given, and it also gives you a sense of sort of these lush natural environments that we've seen a lot of over the past year in video games, which are really gorgeous to explore. So I'm going to bring this to an end now as they come to their final encounter with one another. This is coming out next year, and I am super looking forward to it.
There you are.
Where am I?
My island.
You don't have an island.
It's called Finland.
There already is a Finland.
Mine's better. I knew you'd like it. Now we just have to fix it up a bit, together. And then it will be perfect.
How can I help?
Have a hunt around and see what you can find.
So much for dinner time theatre. Let me see what I can do. You didn't have to destroy all.
I wanted to get your attention.
No more nights under the stars.